Hi, I'm Kerry Majorca, founder of Bloom Yoga Studio, and on behalf of the entire faculty for our 200-hour hybrid online teacher training program for 2021 and 2022, welcome to this virtual info session. Let's get started. Today, you're going to learn all about our program, meet our faculty members, and we can't wait to share with you. Our agenda is to go over a program overview. Then you'll meet your trainers and hear about what they are teaching in the program. Then we'll discuss logistics such as tuition and scholarships, important dates, and how to apply. First, what makes our program unique? At Bloom, we have been training teachers for more than 10 years, and we have tons of stellar reviews on Yoga Alliance. Check it out. We know what we're doing. We are thorough, organized, and committed, and the experience is great. Our hybrid offering combines the best of both worlds. In-person offers you the chance to make great connections with your trainees and trainers in real life, to have the expert eye of your trainer on you and your practice and your teaching. And then in the virtual world, we really take advantage of that setting for our discussion-oriented classes, to use breakout rooms, and to offer you the convenience that virtual brings. Our program focuses on community and connection, and it's unique in that we limit our training to 20 trainees. It's really important to us that you have individualized attention and feedback, that you know your trainers very well and they know you, and that you build relationships and friendships and support with your fellow teachers. Our program focuses on safe, skillful, and equitable yoga teaching. And that's created from the very first day in terms of our modifications and the way that we are really intentional about empowering students to take the approach that's right for them. We honor the yoga tradition and its beautiful roots while bringing in the wisdom and science backing that is so essential to be a safe and skillful teacher today. Our approach to using props and modifications is woven in throughout. So you're going to know how to modify the practice, not only for yourself in your own practice, but also as you start to share yoga with others. This is a hugely important skill for anyone looking to share yoga. Finally, we help to empower you to discover your own unique teaching style. We're not looking to create a bunch of robots who only know a couple sequences. We teach you the principles of sequencing, the principles of all the practices and many elements and limbs of yoga, so you can decide what works best for you, and by extension, what will work best for your students. The overview of the program. The program begins in September on the 15th and runs through April of 2022. Also important to note, we are a Yoga Alliance registered school at the 200-hour level, and we highly recommend anyone seeking a teacher training has this credential. Our in-person sessions are hosted at Bloom Yoga Studio in Chicago in Lincoln Square. And we have a weekly schedule of classes as well as in-person intensives. So weekly, you are meeting Wednesdays from 6 to 9. These are primarily virtual sessions. And then about once a month, you meet in person at Bloom. And then Sundays from 2 to 5 is all in person. The weekend intensives run Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 5, 3 times throughout the course of the program. September, March, and April. These weekend intensives are a great chance to really dive in and get an even more rich experience of being together, creating community, and just amazing discoveries with such an intensive weekend. Additionally, our program requirements are that you attend three yoga classes, and we offer you a variety of options for how to do that, either some at Bloom and then some elsewhere. So you can really observe what are the various choices teachers make and what are their impacts. Our trainees always find this to be really informative, and we find their responses to be very insightful. You will also teach 3 community classes while you are in the program. And don't worry, we have you start teaching from day 1 in small chunks. You will teach your fellow trainees throughout, and then your first 2 community classes, which you will teach on a Saturday afternoon, they are in small groups. So you will take turns teaching a pre-established sequence. By the time you get to your final solo community class, with your trainer observing you and cheering you on for support, you will be more than ready. Our trainees are excited to teach, and they do a fabulous job. We also offer mentorship. This is such an invaluable aspect of our program. In addition to informal mentorship throughout the training, we have 3 2-hour mentorship calls with you and one trainer, a small group of trainees where you go over particular topics, you get specialized feedback, and you can ask all your questions. It is an amazing addition to the program. So in the virtual sessions, how does it work? It's easy. It's on Zoom, super easy interface, and we really utilize the dynamic aspects to help it feel really interactive. So the chat function really allows for more communication, and breakout rooms and other fun Zoom tricks will make that experience dynamic. And we always incorporate breaks to make sure that you don't get Zoom fatigue, because we know that's real. Also, there's an asynchronous learning component, so that before class, you watch a pre-recorded short video from your trainer that gives you kind of an overview of what will be covered in the session. And then there will be readings and some occasional homework assignments. They're very well spread out. You'll have your syllabus for the entire training on day 1, so you can always plan ahead. In addition, then you have a pre-class quiz, which is a simple 5-question quiz that just asks you what you got from that video and the reading, so you're more ready for a rich discussion when we all get together. Now I'm going to turn it over to Sharon Wentz to start talking about her modules.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sharon Wentz. Thank you so much for taking an interest in Bloom Yoga Studio's teacher training program. Let me introduce some of the modules I'll be teaching you. I am based in the Seattle area, so I will be with you online and in person, at least for one intensive. So I look forward to meeting you then. For my modules, I will be starting with asana exploration. Jessie, Lucy, and I will all be giving you these wonderful sessions. And there are 2 to 6 poses in each session. The ones with less are poses that are larger, more extensive. But in every session, you learn poses that prep, finish, vary the pose with props, things to look out for contraindications, and so on. Also, poses that work well before and after those shapes. In the philosophy section, we look at all of the yogic models of living a yogic life, which is non-dogmatic. It's a wonderful way to integrate a more peaceful way of living your life through the yogic lens, through the 8 limbs of yoga, the koshas, and more. We'll get deep into those. Energetic anatomy is when physical practice matches up with the philosophical practice, and there are different ways that we direct our energy physically through bandhas or meditations on the chakra system and other ways of working with the breath. In the next section, in Teaching 101, this is how we create dynamic classes. What is the secret to walking into a yoga class and walking out having an incredible transformation? Well, it's themes as well as how to build up into poses and bring you down in ways that makes the body feel great. So we will learn how to do that well as what to do when you have just one person that you're teaching, how to cater the practice to their needs. A lot of your wisdom comes from learning how to sequence well and then learning how to teach the person or people in front of you. Then we have level 2 exploration, where we take the whole package, the philosophical component, pranayama, meditation, energetic anatomy, and then take peak poses, level 2 shapes, and see how to build up to them safely and in a satisfying way. We'll have 4 of those, and they are a lot of fun. And lastly, the business of teaching, what to do once you have your certificate. If you decide to teach, how many different ways can you go about finding your niche? We will explore this in depth and help you find your path forward. So I look forward to being with you, teaching you, and meeting you soon. Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of the little presentations, and we all look forward to seeing you and having you. Thank you so much for your time. Bye.
Hello, I'm Jessie Novak, and thank you so much, Sharon, for passing me the baton. I'm going to share my screen and tell you all about what my modules are going to entail in the yoga teacher training. So I am excited to be offering you modules in asana exploration, which include the breakdown of poses, how to modify them, what props you can use, making it accessible for everybody's practice. I also get to teach the anatomy and physiology sections and movement basics, which kind of loop together and give you a big accessible way of digesting anatomy. And I think my goal for these modules is to take something that historically has maybe felt intimidating and then create some inspiration around it. We use a ton of pictures, a lot of models. I'll bring in models of skeletons and talk about muscles and bones in a way that makes you the owner of your own machine, the owner of your own instrument. We'll be talking about teaching pranayama, which is breath control or breath restraint, how that ties into your nervous system and ways to integrate breath into all of your work. We'll talk about teaching 101 in private sessions. So what happens if you plan for a group class and then you get there and it's one person? How will you adapt? How will you make this person feel great about this class? Or do you intend to teach private lessons, and how will you structure your class and your practice? Expectant yoginis, at some point in your teaching, you will encounter someone coming to your class who's pregnant. And this module allows us to explore all the ways in which to make this student feel safe and supported in your class. We get to do a practicum at the end of the whole training together, where the students in the teacher training program get to create their own mini class and be as creative as possible. And it is so inspiring to be a part of that and hold space for all of the trainees as they springboard off into their own teaching lives. It is one of my favorite things to be witness to, and I love doing it. From here, I'm going to pass the baton to Lucy, and she's going to tell you more about what she's going to offer in our teacher training. I look forward to seeing you soon, and be well.
Hi, my name is Lucy, and I will also be working with you in 200-hour teacher training, both virtual and in person at the studio. The modules that I'll be working with you on are as follows. First, we'll be doing asana exploration together, like Sharon and Jessie explained earlier. We will be doing the sun salutation clinic together, in which case we'll break down the sun salutation A, which is the most widely taught sequence in modern yoga. We'll also get into Sun Salutation B and C as well. We will break them down for you, and you'll be teaching them a little bit and get comfortable with cueing the sequences, as well as demoing them, the proper form and technique, and also modifications so that these are obtainable to accommodate all students and their different levels. Next, we will get into Teaching 101, adjustments, different types of adjustments that you can offer in class, how to give hands-on adjustments safely, and we'll also weigh the benefit and a risk to the hands-on adjustments, how to execute and cue adjustments safely and effectively for your students. And next will be meditation. Yes, a very popular subject these days. We'll get into the different types of meditations that are out there. We'll discuss different techniques for teaching meditation, and as well as how to incorporate them into your classes and at what point adding them to your classes is most appropriate for a successful class. That'll be a really fun module. And last but not least, practicum. As Jessie mentioned earlier, you will come up with a sequence and a theme and then present it to your fellow peers like you're teaching an actual class. So it's a really good experience. So yeah, I look forward to meeting you in the fall, and thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Next up is Francine. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Lucy. Hello, I'm Francine Kelly, and I will be teaching the trauma sensitivity module for yoga instructors. So what we'll be covering in this module is that we'll discuss the nervous system and how our bodies may be affected by emotional trauma. So we all deal with different levels of stress in our everyday lives, and some of us may actually also be trauma survivors. So we're going to explore our own nervous system responses, and then we'll talk about the yoga practices that can be helpful from this perspective of the nervous system for ourselves as well as for our students. Dysregulation is when we have a hard time managing our stress response in the moment. So we'll talk about how to recognize dysregulation in our yoga students, and then we'll discuss how to best conduct a class so that we're most likely to benefit and least likely to discomfort anyone in the class who may be struggling with extreme stress or the effects of trauma. Look forward to meeting you. And now I will pass this along to DuShaun.
Thanks, Francine. I am DuShaun Branch Pollard, and I am super excited to be one of the teacher trainers with Bloom for the 200-hour training. I'll share a little bit about the classes that I will be teaching with you all. And again, I am very excited about these classes and my time with Bloom. This will be my second time going through these trainings, and I hope to just get better and learn from everyone. So again, my name is DuShaun, and I will be teaching the modules on yoga for children. I love this portion of the training because I am a kids yoga teacher as well. And my favorite thing about teens and kids is that you teach them in a different way than you do adults. So I'll be giving tools and tips on how to think if you want to go further in this area of training. I also teach, again, I think this is a training that is really near and dear to my heart. And I have done these two modules the last 2 times as well. So the first is cultural competency for yoga teachers, wanting to make sure yoga is accessible for all people in all different bodies and all different types. And I think this is important in the world that we are living in now. And so this is a conversation that I really enjoy having. And I start with you all early on in your training to talk about cultural appropriation versus cultural appreciation. What I love to say with you all is that these conversations are uncomfortable, and you may challenge some of the different beliefs that you have had and see some things that you have done, but this is a place to get uncomfortable, ask questions, and to grow. And lastly, I will be with you for social media marketing for yoga teachers. So just having a conversation about, as you plan to go off into the world, how to promote your classes and to market yourself. So again, I am very excited to be with you, and I am going to turn it back over to Kerry to take it home. Thank you all, and I look forward to seeing you all for the next 200-hour training.
Thanks, DuShaun. So we'll finish up by talking about the modules that I will be teaching and then go to the logistics. I am teaching the Teaching 101 Demo and Verbal Cue module. And that is where we'll go over the skills of teaching, how you use your body to show a posture or a breath technique or a meditation position, and how you use your words to skillfully guide a student in that practice. We'll also just have some practice then in a separate module with themes, talking about the frame you might put around a yoga practice with a philosophical idea, perhaps sharing a poem or a story or something that brings a new element to the yoga practice. This, to us, is really the thing that sets apart a good teacher from a great teacher. And it's not easy to do, but with guidance and practice, you'll be great at it. I also teach my passion, gentle, restorative, and chair yoga. We'll have an experiential introduction to these concepts, to these practices. And with the chair yoga practice, I'll also give you my inside tips about workplace yoga as well, how to get yoga into the workplace. And finally, I'll teach the ethics module, where we'll have real life scenarios to discuss and explore the intricacies of ethics as it applies to the teaching and practice of yoga. Our required texts for the training are listed on the website, so I'll go through them quickly here, but important to note, our comprehensive 200+ page manual that is indexed and very well organized is included in the cost of your tuition and will accompany you throughout your training. It's a really great resource. The other texts we use are 30 Essential Poses, a great asana text, Anatomy of Movement, which really brings anatomy to life. You'll love this one. The Science of Yoga, Risks and Rewards. This book really exploded into the yoga world with scientific backing for what yoga does and does not do. It's a fantastic and important read. Path of the Yoga Sutras, Yoga Beyond Belief, and Light on Life are our wonderful philosophy texts that Sharon will guide you through. They're really beautiful. Tuition and important dates. So our full tuition for the program is $3,400, and we offer a $200 discount if you pay in full by August 15th. Your deposit is applied towards your tuition, so it's not in addition. Your handbook is included in that cost, as I mentioned. And the really important thing is there are no hidden or extra costs beyond that, aside from any observations you might do outside of Bloom. It's really important to be informed as you're deciding to invest your time and money in a training. Make sure you understand the scope of your involvement. And we are really, really big believers in no hidden costs, everything up front. Tuition is due in full by September 1st if you do not take the early tuition discount. We also offer a payment plan. We have a structured payment plan on our website, and we also are open to creating other payment plan structures, which we have done for trainees in the past. We really believe in making the training accessible and possible for everyone. On that note, we have scholarships available. 2 $1,000 scholarships are available, and the criteria is available and listed in detail on our website. We encourage you to apply. Thank you so much for your interest in our program. We hope you're going to join us. It's really a wonderful experience of deepening of your own practice and learning to teach and share it with others. Please contact us with any questions you may have at all. We're happy to answer them, and we hope you'll apply today. The application is available on our website. Thank you again. We appreciate your time and interest, and we hope you'll be joining us for this great yoga adventure.